Story 1, NVIDIA. Atkin Lyons, NVIDIA partners reshape advertising and marketing with AI. Source check, NVIDIA Newsroom. Triage label, estimate moving. What changed? The digital era gave the advertising and marketing industry speed, the AI era is giving it autonomous operations. For companies building next-generation technologies for advertising. Business impact, NVIDIA sets the tone for whether hyperscaler demand is still broadening or just pausing. What to monitor next? Watch orders, backlog, and hyperscaler capex for signs that the build-out is still expanding across semiconductors, AI infrastructure. What would weaken this read? If demand does not stay durable, the move narrows back to NVIDIA instead of broadening across semis. Market context, SPY 1.08%, QQQ 2.51%, 10-year yield 4.45%, Bitcoin $63,053. Story 2, Google. Powering the world's first AI arts museum. Source check, Google blog. Triage label, confirmation only. What changed? AI-generated Infinity Room. Business impact, watch whether Europe, Asia, or emerging markets confirm the same risk regime. What to monitor next? Watch ACWI, EAFE, emerging markets, and any official company updates tied to those regions. What would weaken this read? If global breadth fades, the move becomes a US-only story rather than a broader finance signal for Google. Market context, SPY 1.08%, QQQ 2.51%, 10-year yield 4.45%, Bitcoin $63,053. Story 3, Market tape. Market tape, S&P 500 1.08%, Nasdaq 1.91%, 10-year yield 4.45. Source check, Yahoo Finance market data. Triage label, watch only. What changed? Market data snapshot, QQQ 2.51%, SMH 5.76%, IGV -0.11%, BTC 63,047, oil 75. Use the tape as confirmation for company and macro stories, not as a standalone forecast. Business impact, watch whether the next print changes the rate path, liquidity conditions, or risk appetite. What to monitor next? Watch the next data release, central bank tone, and any change in benchmark yields. What would weaken this read? If rates and inflation stop improving, the broader finance setup stays under pressure for SPY. Market context, SPY 1.08%, QQQ 2.51%, 10-year yield 4.45%, Bitcoin $63,053. Story 4, Earnings Calendar. Earnings Calendar, official IR watchlist for AMD, AVGO, INTC, and NVIDIA. Source check, AMD Investor Calendar. Triage label, confirmation only. What changed? Official IR calendars put AMD, Broadcom, Intel, NVIDIA, and Adobe on the upcoming disclosure watchlist. Business impact, this is scheduling context, not a reported results claim. The value is knowing which official updates come next. What to monitor next? Watch bookings, guidance, backlog, margins, and management tone when the official events arrive. What would weaken this read? If follow-through does not appear, keep it as calendar context rather than an estimate reset. Market context, SPY 1.08%, QQQ 2.51%, 10-year yield 4.45%, Bitcoin $63,053. Story 5, Federal Permian natural gas production increased faster than crude oil. Source check, EIA Today in Energy. Triage label, confirmation only. What changed? The Federal Reserve released economic projections from the June 16, 17 FOMC meeting. Business impact, policy rate expectations shape discount rates, liquidity, and sector leadership across AI, cloud, and semiconductors. What to monitor next? Watch the next inflation print, jobs data, Fed speaker tone, and Treasury yield follow-through. What would weaken this read? If the next data release does not move yields or liquidity, treat this as policy context instead of a new regime. Market context, SPY 1.08%, QQQ 2.51%, 10-year yield 4.45%, Bitcoin $63,053. Watch next, cloud capex and backlog conversion. Why it matters, watch whether spending schedules, RPO, and enterprise adoption turn into revenue guidance instead of another headline spike. Source health is clean enough to use the tape as confirmation, not the thesis. Cross-asset checkpoint, SPY 1.08%, QQQ 2.51%, world equities 1.24%, and Bitcoin $63,053. The goal is to separate a filing that changes estimates from a headline that only confirms the existing setup. Disclaimer: this content is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not investment advice. Educational analysis can reduce decision noise, but it cannot remove risk. Treat every view as a hypothesis to test with your own data and constraints. Use the video to sharpen judgment, not to outsource it. Your process should stay in charge, even when the story sounds compelling.